All right, let's talk cable. There's a big difference in electrical cable and what you should be using it for. So this is your typical TPS type cable that you find in most of your domestic wiring. Perfectly fine for fixed wiring that is not going to move. This is AC rated. In other words, it's designed to carry AC current and AC power, not DC. There is a reason there is a difference in the insulation itself. Inside that, we have what is known as 7-strand copper, which is this stuff here. It has 7 thin cores inside that red wire. That is what carries the power. Designed to be installed once and left alone. Then you have multi-strand, or larger multi-strand, like a battery cable. Now, with 7-strand, when you're terminating it, you can just neatly twist it, fold it over if the camera will even focus on it, not really. But you can basically do that. The reason we fold over the thinner cables is to make sure they fill up as much of the terminal area that they're being terminated in, whether that be a circuit breaker or a neutral bar or something like that where you've got a screw terminal. You want to try and take up as much of the space in that terminal area as possible so that when the screw pushes down or the plate pushes onto it, it has the best chance of as much surface contact as possible. When you go to multi-strand, you need to put a bootlace crimp on. What that does is keep all of the cores together and puts an outer casing over it. Now when your terminal screw pushes onto that bootlace crimp, it is going to make really good contact. It's not going to split and fray all the little multi-strands, and it is going to allow you to, one, not have stray strands that can cause short circuit or other electric shock risk. It also makes sure that the terminal screw that pushes onto that is going to be able to bite down without snapping any of those little cores off because they're a lot finer. Now this applies to battery cable as well. You put a bootlace on, or you put a lug terminal if you've got to fit off to a nut and bolt connection. So that is how you need to terminate cables. If you don't do that, you run the risk of hot joints. And a hot joint is a high resistive joint. What that means is all the power that's trying to pass through this cable is going to pass through each of those cores individually. Each core should take the same amount of power, a little bit on each one. If we snap a third of those out, then the remaining 2/3 have to do a lot more work and carry a lot more current, which equals heat. If you get too much heat into this, what happens is that copper will only withstand so much heat before it melts. Electricity can push that amount of heat and power through almost instantaneously if it's wrong. So if it pushes too much heat through and those little cores have been snapped out and there's not enough of them, now you have too much current, not enough surface area to carry it. It will generate too much heat, melt the copper, things either blow up, and I literally mean blow up. I have seen a single strand out of 7 core that was used, shouldn't have been, it was used to tie off a circuit breaker back when I was an apprentice. And it slipped down past the edge of the circuit breaker and just touched onto the active side of the circuit breaker. That little 1 strand of copper vaporized because it was basically touching the edge of the escutcheon plate at the same time. Little piece of copper like that, it vaporized the amount of energy that tried to pass through that. There was a great big orange flash, and the force that was created through the air knocked the guy working on the switchboard, it knocked his hard hat off his head, and he went blind for about half an hour. That's off 1 strand out of a little 7-strand cable. So when you have a hot joint, you can get so much power trying to pass through that in such a short period of time that it will cook and vaporize what's left, and you end up with either an explosion, or short circuit, or a number of other things can go wrong. Primarily the reason we get hot joints is either snapped cores or terminals are not tight enough. You need to make sure that there is no way to get debris, corrosion. That's why some terminations will require you to put some kind of gel over it to seal it from atmospheric conditions so you don't get corrosion. It's also why we have tinned copper. The silver looking stuff is what we call tinned. It is to prevent corrosion. Corrosion will put a film of corrosion, which is non-conductive, between your conductor and whatever screw or whatever plate it's trying to connect to. That creates friction basically for the electrons to get through. They can't pass through, so they're going to basically create enough heat to try and cross that gap. Get enough of that, you create a resistive or hot joint. So make sure your terminals are tight enough. Make sure any multi-strand you use a bootlace on, and make sure you don't have any bent, frayed. Make sure you're not cutting cores out and reducing the actual current carrying capacity of the cable. If you do, you're asking for all kinds of problems. So just remember that. 7-strand is designed to be installed, fixed in place, and never moved. Multi-strand, better for anything that is mobile, anything that's going to be moved around. We use in our pre-built off-grid solar systems, because we build them here and we send them all over the country. Primarily, every piece of wiring in those systems is multi-strand. That is so any movement in transport is not going to create a work hardening of the copper core. If you take that copper and you work it back and forward, probably won't do it on the tin stuff as easy, but if you work it back and forward, especially on 7-core, it will snap off. You get enough movement and vibration, you start snapping cores and snapping the edges of cables where they're terminated. Next thing, by the time a perfectly good unit lands at a customer's site, we could have problems. So because there's a risk of movement, we use multi-strand. So, hope that helps. Hope it clears up the difference as to how and why you use the different cables, where they're designed to be used for, and make sure you terminate them correctly so that you don't get any issues down the track. All right, take care.